Today is April 26, 2021, and here is my update. I'm going to try to keep this short because not a lot has really happened with my hair between last time and this time, and I'll get to that in a minute. So also right now, the COVID pandemic situation in Thailand has ramped up a little, and the case numbers are higher than ever here, though that is still, the worst day here is still better than the best day in a lot of places, but still not nice. And I don't really want to be going outside too much right now, so I'm somewhat on lockdown in my room. My wife and I actually would like to go back to America to get vaccinated because, to put it politely, the vaccination schedule here is not quite robust, and I don't know when that's going to happen. However, there's something of a prisoner's dilemma situation because even though right now I have no symptoms and I'm, I guess, what you could call asymptomatic, if we were to test positive, we might have to go to these things called field hospitals where there's all these beds in this big room and you have a curtain and it's like a flop house where you could just hear people talking and noisy, and I don't know how nice that is. So I'm just gonna take my chances and not get tested and stay here for now until that calms down, and then we might get tested and go back to America, but we'll see. In the meantime, I'm in Thailand. It's not a bad place to be. Alright, so on to my update. So it's been almost exactly 3 months to the day since I had this middle area, a little bit in the front and the back to fill in the gaps. And then I had this done on March 2nd, this temple points. So that's not really growing at all. So in previous times, I noticed more growth than I do this time. And I've really been wondering why. Why is it slow? The only difference is I'm taking Finasteride this time. But I think there's catagen, anagen, telogen, the different phases of hair growth, and from what I understand, Finasteride can reset that. So maybe that set things a little bit haywire, and that's why the growth has been slow. Because I know for a fact I've had this area here is beard hair. I had 2 previous times with the same doctor, same technique, everything, and that seemed to start growing in 2 months, and by 3 months I was seeing more than I am now. I'm not quite happy about that, but I am seeing a little bit. I see a couple pimples here and there, so I'm pretty confident it is coming in. I'm hoping it's Finasteride, and all I have right now is time anyway, so I'll just have to wait and see what happens. So far, no problem at all with the Finasteride. I'm taking that and the oral minoxidil of 5 milligrams. So I guess without further ado, let's take a quick look. So here's my right side here, and you see maybe a little bit of a shadow, but most of that hair is fallen out, and what you actually see probably is like where she made the little cuts, so there's minimal, if any, hair in that temple point. So here is the left temple. Let's take a look at the back. That seems to be slowly coming in. It's not as robust as some other areas, but it looks okay. That seems to be slowly coming in. If you haven't watched all my videos, I stupidly put hydrogen peroxide in this back area there. I might have damaged the grafts. And also, I've had all different kinds of hair, leg hair, abdomen hair, head hair, so who knows what's going on. I'm happy at least some hair is coming in, but I would not be surprised if I need to hit that again. All right, now let's go over the top. I'll do my best. This can be a little tricky. So you can see there is some growth, and also my hair is longer, and that, remember, that can be deceptive. But I am seeing some growth. It's definitely, there's still some open spots. And this area back here, I'm really not seeing much. But I am seeing a little bit trickling in. So I guess I'm just going to have to wait and see how that goes. Obviously, I hope and I don't expect this is my final result. But even if it was, while I'd be disappointed, I do feel already it's a big improvement. In some areas, this area in the back I had June 24th of last year, so that's been 9 months, and then it's just different time periods for the different areas because I didn't have it all at once. But I already feel, with whatever phase of growth I'm at, that it is a big improvement. So I'm going to wait a year for all areas, and so basically March 2nd of next year, when every area will be in, that's my plan. That might change. Then I'll just have to evaluate how it is. I fully expect I'm going to do some more hair transplantation at some point, but it's nice to take a break and just let it grow in, and at least have a very, very significant improvement. So I'm happy with that. I also recently did a couple interviews with my friend David DeMuzio. He has the channel Hair Loss Hope. We talked about two things. One, the classic thing where you're losing your hair, and there's going to be one crowd who says, "Don't worry about it, just shave it off. Don't worry about it at all." I don't know why this just always comes up. And it was funny because I was on a Thai visa forum. It has nothing to do with hair. And for some reason, somebody posted, "Hey, what can I do about my hair? I'm losing my hair." And I mentioned the clinic I went to. And then a chorus of people came in and they said, "Stop worrying about it. Stop being so vain and don't think about your hair. Just shave it off. There's worse things and all, I don't know, all kinds of things, all kinds of reasons not to think about it." So in that interview, I talked to David DeMuzio about my thoughts on that, why that's just not true for a lot of people. Hair has a lot of meaning, and it's not as simple as just shaving it off. It works for some people, but you really can't quite call it vain or that somebody's flawed for wanting their hair back. The other interview, which I guess he'll post at some point, is about wearing hats. And if you think about it in a way, a hat is like an immediate hair system. It'll restore your hairline and cover your head and make you feel normal again. So some of the philosophy and thinking of why people wear hats and what it means to people. So I don't have a whole lot of content on my own channel right now because not a lot is happening right now, but hopefully you'll enjoy those interviews too. Those aren't available at the time of this recording. When they do become available, I'll add cards and links to my description. You also can just look at his channel. Eventually it should come up any day now.
So I want to do one last thing in this update. I took a couple photos and I just want to walk through that, kind of talk through each one. So let's look at this first one. This is obviously the straight ahead view. And you can see it's not the best photo, but I definitely have a hairline now. And from this stance, it looks like I have hair. And that can be deceptive, but that can also be good because that's why people like to get their hairline done. Because no matter what's going on everywhere else, that's the first thing and often the only thing people see. There's that straight ahead view. Let's take another look here. So this is, these can be inversed. I think this is my left temple, but basically all of this has fallen out and you can see how far the recession is back here. If you remember, I got this filled in and then this hairline here. So you can see how hair loss, how much it can damage the side too and the temple point. So it really made a nice difference having this filled in. And this has gone back as expected to how it was before, where I basically had this very deep recession in my temples. And I'm looking forward to that coming back in. And again, that was done with head hair. Let's look at the other temple point. You can still see more of a shadow on this side. I believe this is the right side. No, sorry, this is the left side. It's inverted. And this is also mostly fallen out, but you can again see, I mean, all this area was filled in. Very deep recession on the side, and there was also some lateral humps that in the previous session I had filled in. So hair loss, it just seemed to attack all your hair and really distort your face. It's not just your hairline, it's really all over the place. So that also is going to be nice when that goes in. Let's take a look. This is my crown area. This hasn't really changed a whole lot. You can see a little bit is coming in. This right here, this is, I believe, leg hair. That's why this kind of looks a little bit different, and that seems to be coming in slower. It's not wonderful, but at least it's not bald. I could say the same thing for this area. It's not as thick as this middle area and not as thick as this, but I wouldn't say it looks bald. If you look at this area above it, this is some of the best. I would like to get all of the hair looking at like this, but not quite there yet. And this area here, I would say, is the weakest. I think at this point it's pretty obvious I'm going to have to come back and do this again. And I guess it's okay. So this is the giveaway, the bird's eye view. And the growth, as I said, is just not as much as I hoped for at this point. I haven't given up yet, but it's slower than times in the past. Let's get a little closer here. So all of this was missing hair. So I see a little patch coming in here, but this still is looking pretty bald. And you can see this was beard hair. This is coming in quite well. So clearly the doctor knows what she's doing. Hopefully it just is a matter of more time. I also had this area here, and this has not come in that much yet. And then this front, I'm seeing some, there was this gap, but I also had this area. Actually, just like, this was bald before. So that seems like it is coming in. It's just trickling in very slow. Hopefully it just keeps coming in. But just wanted to do that little walkthrough of what's going on with my hair as well. I think at this point I just have to wait another month. Hopefully between 3 and 4 months more magic happens. But that's how I stand right now.
So I guess that's all I have to say for now. Hopefully next month there'll be more impressive growth and more to talk about. But it is what it is, and I am where I am. Thanks for watching.